happen, sir, at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all.
My biggest mistake, but something that I don't regret, was giving him the amount of grace that I gave him, because it only backfired on me.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So unfortunately, this is actually a crazy story, but we're gonna get into all the details. If you have not heard, Iman Shumpert, which is the man with the braids, tried to put his baby mama Teyana Taylor in jail before Mother's Day. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just break it all down. Again, if you are unaware of who these people are, let me give you a little background to who they are. Iman Shumpert, as I said before, which is the man, is a former NBA star turned personality. He actually won Dancing with the Stars. He had a reality show with his wife, Teyana Taylor, at the time, and he is now also a rapper.
Go out for the funds. They go out for some fun until the sun come up, hoping our pants come down.
Now, the woman on the screen might be, extremely familiar to you. She is a personality known, firstly for her episode of My Super Sweet 16, in which, she was signed to Star Trek, which was Pharrell's label at the time.
Because, that he was the first person to sign me, and, he was skateboard P, I was skateboard T, you know what I'm saying? That was, you cannot tell me that wasn't my pops, you feel me?
And basically, she just evolved from there. She's a singer, choreographer. She owns a production company. She's just an all-around, again, like I said, personality. For those who don't know, Teyana was actually in a relationship in her younger years with another basketball star, which actually ended up to be very tumultuous. That guy ended up, I think, dating one of her friends, and, it kind of just tarnished their relationship. Obviously, he moved on with that person. They were together for years.
Behind me, you see pictures of Teyana Taylor, and then you have the video vixen that still was popular in the 2010s, LaShante Hecker. So Teyana and Brandon were dating from 2011 to 2014. They broke up, and then he was seen popping up on LaShante's Instagram, and that caused quite a stir. Immediately after Teyana and Brandon broke up, they were all over the place. And the biggest scandal was between Teyana and LaShante. So basically, Teyana went on the Breakfast Club in 2014 and was like, my issue isn't even with Brandon. I kind of knew how he moved, so that's whatever. She was just like, I consider LaShante a friend. And the fact that I had to find out through the blog that she's now dating my ex, or her man. The timeline's kind of fuzzy because all parties have said oh, they were broken up, and then Teyana said no, we were relatively still together.
And so when Iman and Teyana met, it seemed as though this was her redemption story, right? They had a beautiful relationship. He's an NBA star. Like I said, she was up and coming at the time, known for various different things. And the image of the two of them just seemed like a beautiful story. The two of them ended up having 2 children together, getting married, yada, 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 and free. Okay. They actually, like I said before, ended up having a TV show in which they ended up, showcasing their life, showing all the details about their life.
I'm not the one that did it. Come on, Big Roo.
Size 14 shoe, leave me out of it.
You tired, Roo. You tired.
And there were times that there was even, certain details revealed from their marriage, right? The fact that she openly, allowed a third party into their situation. It was her idea, whatever the case was. And, basically a lot of people were like, this man got it good.
Everybody heard that me and my husband had threesomes before. It was oh, she's willing to do that to keep a man. I'm like,
Nah.
That was all me. That was all me.
Right? You have this beautiful wife, you have a beautiful children, you guys are living your life beautifully. Obviously, she is not the jealous type, or obviously she is not the crazy type. She's allowing you to have certain experiences even within the marriage. It seems like, this is a modern twist on, the Black family, Black love, or, couple goals, what have you. Now, unfortunately, the two of them actually decided to part ways and get a divorce. And Iman, again, the man in the equation, decided that he was going to let the public know certain details about their divorce proceedings.
The two got married in 2016, and Teyana Taylor quietly filed for divorce in 2023. They have 2 kids as a result of this marriage. The Jasmine brand is exclusively reporting that Iman Shumpert is to pay Teyana Taylor 7 figures in divorce settlement, and he is to pay her $8,000 a month in child support. The Jasmine brand is reporting on other details of this divorce settlement. Teyana has been entitled to retain 4 key marital properties. These properties, which has an estimate value of over $10 million, are understood to be significant assets from their shared estate. Iman has also been ordered to make a one-time 7-figure payment to Teyana. In terms of personal property, Teyana has been awarded a collection of vehicles, including a Maybach, a Mercedes, a Sprinter, a tour bus, and her prized Bronco truck. Teyana is also retaining all of her jewelry. Meanwhile, Iman will keep his luxurious Miami condo. He'll also retain ownership of his South Georgia compound and Decatur, Georgia compound. This divorce got really messy really quick. If you remember, Teyana was trying to keep everything pretty private, and Iman was putting everything online.
Now, in lieu of him, basically trying to make it seem like she was bitter and that she was, trying to do these things, throw him in jail or whatever the case is,
When him and his lawyer told the internet,
she came out to defend herself, right? And she even spoke about the fact that, when the two of them broke up, she was very open with the public, like, that's still my best friend, that's still my family. She wasn't going on a tour to tarnish his name or to say anything negative about him. And she was kind of, upset about the fact that he was basically trying to state that she, took him to the cleaners and got everything from the divorce. And she wanted to let the public know that that's not the type of person that she is. And that's actually not what happened. Everything was kind of split down the middle.
do you realize even when I made the post to say, not so much my best friend, that was to give you a clean slate to do what you wanted to do, whether that was move on, get it right, fight for your family, whatever it was. I gave you a clean slate without people having to bash you. You were caught in the scandal around the time I made that announcement, not me. So it's just like, I don't understand what we're not going to act like my bank account is like, nah, we're not doing that. I've had several Jordans. I've had several movies, several deals, all still active. And the crazy part about it is I said nothing when him and his lawyer told the internet, oh, Teyana's making more money. Teyana's bringing more money a month in than Iman is. Just because Iman played ball don't mean that this is a thing where it's like I'm trying to take money off of him. Iman haven't played ball since 2020. So yes, actively during the divorce, I was bringing more money than him in. I am. So it's just like, how are we sitting here making it seem like I'm being a gold digger or taking from him? And we're not going to do that. I bought my tour bus with my hard-earned money. I bought my Sprinter with my hard-earned money. I bought my Maybach with my hard-earned money. I bought my Maybach after Iman crashed my Rolls Royce and never replaced it. That I also bought. Okay? What are we talking about? Every single car that I walked away with, I literally paid for out of my pocket. I made myself clear. Y'all gonna think what y'all want to think regardless. Y'all gonna still run with y'all narratives because that's what people do. But one thing you will have clear is that Teyana ain't take nothing from Iman. Oh, and that $1 million y'all claiming that 7-figure, 8-figure, it was a one-time fee of $1 million and damages. When Iman crashed the $400,000 Rolls Royce and Iman did whatever other stuff he did, that was the things he had to pay me back. Iman left me with a whole lot of shit. That's another thing. Let's be clear with that too. When you're dividing marital assets, when you're dividing houses and stuff, if it's still bills a part of it, if it's still whatever taxes, who do you think gotta pay for that? Because let's be clear. There's big auntie want to be stuck paying taxes and bills and no. But guess what? I've been doing it. So it's not a win-win for either one of us. At the end of the day, we were two people that really loved each other at one point. And let's be real. We were two people that really loved each other at one point. No one wins when the family feuds.
Now, apparently it was alleged that the reason why, he was doing that, he was on kind of like a smear campaign. I guess she was saying to get sympathy because a lot of people, I guess were choosing sides or whatever the case is. And, she was just letting it be known that that's not the truth of what happened. And she didn't want people to look at her in a certain way. Again, she posted this video in defense of her own self. Now, just recently, okay, like I said, a couple days before Mother's Day, Iman decides that he wanted to tell the court that they need to throw Teyana Taylor in jail, allegedly, okay, because of the fact that she was talking about private divorce matters and should not have been able to do so. As you can see here, it says Iman Shumpert has filed a legal motion requesting the court to hold his ex-wife, Teyana Taylor, in contempt, which could result in jail time. On May 5th, 2025, Shumpert accused Taylor of violating their July 2024 divorce agreement by publicly sharing confidential details on social media. He claims this breach harmed his reputation and career. Additionally, he alleges that Taylor obstructed his parenting rights by denying scheduled visitation and removing their children from school without notice. Shumpert is seeking a $1,000 fine and a 20-day jail sentence for Taylor. In response, Teyana Taylor has denied attempting to have Shumpert jailed. She asserts that her legal actions are aimed at ensuring her privacy and protecting her career from what she describes as Shumpert's deliberate leaks of sealed court documents. Taylor has also filed a motion accusing Shumpert of contempt, alleging he leaked confidential divorce information to the media to promote his music. Both sides are accusing each other of leaking sealed documents and asking the court to impose fines or even jail time. Nobody wins when the family feuds. So the second paragraph in which I read to you guys, that's actually what she cleared up, right? She had already cleared up the fact that she's like, no, I actually didn't say that. I actually did not want them to put him in jail. I actually did not advise the court to do that. I just wanted them to issue something that was going to make him stop, spreading all these lies about me or saying these things about me in which, I'm trying to get him to go to jail. I'm trying to do this when I'm genuinely not trying to do that.
I never tried to send Iman to jail. I'm still not trying to send Iman to jail. However, I have to file a motion to get him to leave me alone so we can both go and live our life in peace. Like, I'm confused because y'all know peace is what I want. Like, on top of the fact that I got proof that you have been leaking these rumors.
And so in turn, him blatantly putting out there that he did want her to go to jail is throwing a lot of these women out in these streets for a loop. A lot of the comments were like, how dare you? How could you? Whatever the case, I can't believe that you would do such a thing. And I have to say this, right? I personally believe that it is ironic that women find it such a hard or hurtful thing when a man treats his baby mama like the majority of these baby mamas treat their baby daddy. Like, I just feel like they would love to say it's not the same thing. It's not, but it is. How many women have, purposely reported, oh, he not paying his child support and gotten these men locked up in jail? Okay? For whatever terms of the agreement, or because he didn't pay them in time, even though he really paid them, but he didn't pay them in time. They know he's going through a situation financially and he don't got it like that. And they will keep the kids away from him, expect the check. And when the check doesn't come, they make sure that he get locked up. How many women have done that?
John got behind in child support and spent 8 months in jail. Can you believe it? What had happened was he missed a few payments of child support and his ex-wife took him back to court on a contempt charge. The judge heard the evidence, looked at him and said, you've just simply refused to pay. You've had the ability to pay. You've just willfully refused and failed to pay. Therefore, I'm going to lock you up until you pay the child support that's owed. It was about $2,500.
But now, when it is the woman in the seat, okay, so far from what I've seen, I have not seen Teyana Taylor do any of the bashing. I haven't seen her go on social media and try to humiliate him, say things, do certain things. I personally have not publicly seen it. I have not seen it. If y'all have seen it, let me know in the comments, but I haven't seen it. But all of a sudden, because the woman, she is now the victim in this situation that could be facing jail time, all of a sudden, women have a voice about these situations. Oh, that's the mother of your kids. How could you? Why don't y'all have the same energy when that's the father of their kids? That's the father of the kids that y'all trying to put in jail. That's the father of the kids that you were keeping from seeing his children. Why is it that there's not the same amount of disdain for those situations? I would love to know.
The fact that you are okay with the world thinking that I took you for everything that you had the world thinking that I tried to get you locked up, sitting here playing victim, leaking these rumors that make him look bad. Some people are okay with looking bad just as long as you look worse. Before this divorce, during this divorce, and after this divorce, I protected that man with all I had in me. All I asked for was for him to stand up for me. You see what's happening. You see it's not true.
I have to be honest. I always say that it always seems to me that when there is a divisive relationship, I always feel like, you know, the good, you know, men, the stand up fathers, you know, they always end up somehow when there's a tumultuous situation with a baby mother more times than not that is vindictive, nasty, argumentative. And the good stand-up mothers, you know, if there's a tumultuous situation, it always end up being that they get, like, you know, the guy who is, you know, acting bitter or whatever the case is. I always feel like it's like a morph situation. I always say that. And, you know, in this situation, like I said before, it reminded me instantly of their Halloween outfits that they had one year, in which there was a role reversal, right? And it seems to me that that exactly is what we're trying to see at play, is that, you know, being in opposite roles, that he is now taking on this thing of like, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna tell everybody, I'm gonna tell everybody everything, when the two of them were in a good relationship, a good standing. And like I said before, it seemed that there was no drama. When you look on her social media, you didn't see her, you know, trying to, like I said, slander him, or her giving negative opinions or anything like that. You never saw that. The only information that we ever got was from the man. He the one that told us everything, then said that she took him, you know, to the cleaners and took all the stuff, when again she communicated that everything was, you know, right in the middle. But, you know, it's unfortunate that women will not understand what men go through until women are in that spot. Seriously. Very similarly to when I think it was Halle Berry that had to pay child support to her ex.
Halle Berry agreed to pay her ex, Oliver Martinez, $8,000 a month in child support.
That's the only time that women could understand even a piece of what men are constantly going through on a daily basis. The threat of Teyana Taylor going to jail, okay, in something surrounding her kids, is the only time that women can see the other side of the coin of what men are constantly going through. There's constantly that threat of a woman telling, you know, I'm gonna call the police, I'm gonna put you in jail. Men constantly walk around with that. But now, again, only because it's the woman that's the victim are they understanding to these situations. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I think this is just such a sad thing, because, you know, the two of them, it's a tale as old as time. Okay? It's not like this is something new. It's a tale as old as time, but they have two small children that obviously, you know, are now caught in the middle of this situation. And, you know, everything is public. Everything. You know, it's going to be hard to try to reiterate that that's not what the situation is, because she blatantly, openly said that she did not try to put him in jail. She would never want this man to go to jail. And then he turns around and right before Mother's Day is trying to put her in a slammer. It's wild.
I don't care what happens, sir, at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media. But what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all.
It's wild to me. But again, it takes women being in these situations for other women to understand, like I said, what men go through on a daily basis. Sometimes the good got to suffer for the bad, just so that other people can be able to witness and see and learn from these situations. The same way that you feel like he was wrong for putting the mother of his children in jail is the same way that y'all should feel wrong when y'all be trying to put the father of your children in jail. And I'm not talking about for, you know, crazy things. I'm talking about for because your feelings, because you being vindictive, because you nasty, because you mad how the relationship ended, or because, you know, you just all up in your feelings because he no longer want to talk to you. Foolishness.
My biggest mistake, but something that I don't regret, was giving him the amount of grace that I gave him, because it only backfired on me.
I'm going to also use this opportunity to say shout out to all of the mothers out there. Okay, it's obviously Mother's Day. Shout out to all the mothers out there who do not go to limits to, you know, separate the father of your children and the relationship that your kids have with them. The mothers that will go to bat to say, listen, I don't care what the situation is. You're going to honor both your parents. You're going to have a relationship with both your parents. The mothers who are not manipulating their children. The mothers who are doing the best that they can with the resources that they have and are focused on effectively raising their children. Not just growing them up to save face, but the women who are actually going above and beyond, I salute you, okay? Motherhood is not an easy task. It's not a simple task. I don't undermine it. I don't have anything negative to say about it. The mothers, the real mothers, not just the women who have kids, okay? Let's clarify. But to the mothers out there, I hope that you guys have an amazing Mother's Day. I hope you feel supported, loved, and appreciated, because the mothers out there, the women who are going above and beyond and putting their, their children's needs, the importance of their emotional intelligence in raising these children doesn't go unnoticed. Okay, I support you. I salute you, because I'm not going to lie, it's coming like a dying breed. Okay, I've seen a lot of women that have children, but it's rare to actually see mothers out there. I'm just gonna keep it real. So I love y'all, I support y'all, and I thank y'all. I want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this entire conversation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.